Hey Phil, hope you're doing well. Just wanted to get your thoughts on some of these new guys that you added for free agency, like Xavier Woods and Matt Ioannidis as well.
Okay, excuse me, I couldn't hear it. Could you say that again?
Yeah, just want to get your thoughts on some of the new guys you picked up in free agency, like Ioannidis and Xavier Woods.
Okay. So you just want me to talk about him, right? So, Ioannidis is really a versatile guy for us up front. He can play the nose and the three tech. 2 years ago, for defensive tackles per rush, he had the most pressure of anybody in the National Football League. So, and he's also stout enough to play the run. So we're excited to get Matt in here. Xavier Woods, I think he'll be a really good addition to our secondary. I think him and Chin will match up real well together. So I'm excited about that. Corey Littleton, can really run. There's a lot of different things we can do with him. He can play tight ends, backs. He's really versatile. So he'll be good to have. And then Chris Westry, is a big, tall, can really run. So I'm really anxious to get him in practice and see exactly who he is, because I think we can match him on a lot of different people that we play, which is fun to do. We like guys that can do different things, so that'll be good. And then Joe Jackson, he's got a bigger defensive end. He can play over the tight end, and that's going to help us. Him and Etor will do a nice job on the tight ends. So those are the guys right now, and we're excited about those guys.
Let's go ahead and go to Jonathan Alexander, and then Will Plotch.
Hey, Phil. Good to see you again.
Yep.
You all kind of made the decision that, when you all were trying to figure out whether you wanted to keep Jeremy Chin at safety or moving back the linebacker, kept him at safety. What went behind that decision, and why was it best to put him keep him at safety?
Well, Coach Wilkes came in, and I said, Steve, I want you to watch Jeremy and tell me what you think. And he said, Coach, I think he can be an all-pro safety. So, and that's my feeling was the same after 1 year playing safety. I think if we just settle him in at the safety position and all the different stuff we do with the safeties, that he's going to be a really, really effective and great Panther back there. So I'm excited about Jeremy staying back there.
Hey, Phil, how are you?
Good.
In terms of your secondary, re-signing Dante, I know was big.
Yep.
What did it mean to get him back, and how do you feel like the depth is at corner when you had obviously JC back there and CJ Henderson coming into his second year with you guys?
Yeah, I really like our corner position. CJ's getting healthy with the shoulder, and so in the fall I think we're going to be dynamic and exciting to watch back there. Which gives us a lot of flexibility. We're going to be able to match up on three really good receivers, and we have people that can match up on really good tight ends. So I'm excited about the possibilities and what we can do with the group we have coming back there.
And just real quick to follow up, what area or areas do you feel like most need to get bolstered with this draft upcoming?
Well, I still think we need another safety. Scott and his group do a really good job. And, you can't have enough front guys. So we can, always use people up front and then a linebacker. So we probably need one at each level. And there's a lot of good players in this draft. So it'll be fun to see how it all unfolds.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to Ellis and then Darren Gant.
Hey, Coach. Before I ask you anything about football, I am wondering, do you have any reaction to the recent news about the Panthers terminating their agreement with Rock Hill and the new headquarters?
No, I don't know what's going on with that, and so the PR department will handle that because I'm not familiar with all that.
Sure, fair enough. Talking ball, I'm wondering if you could break down from a coaching standpoint what it's like going from one year to the next? You know, fans tend to think like, oh, we can build on this momentum, and we were this last year, so that means we'll be this upcoming season. As a coach, who's now working at, you know, the first parts of that offseason program, what is the main differences you try to focus on from building towards what you did last year, but also understanding that this is something new?
Well, you know, every year is new. So this group is different than last year's group. And how we develop and progress and communicate and our leadership, all those things have to be developed, you know, over the next 6 months. So, but I'm really excited, and I think our whole organization is, with who we have on defense. We've got an outstanding group. You know, the two areas that if we want to be a championship defense, we have to get more turnovers, and we got to play better in the red zone. So those will be the focus over the next 6 months, along with developing our leadership and communication and just our depth and our football team. So, but I'm really excited about this group, and I'm excited about the two new coaches we've added, and Steve Wilkes and Paul Pasqualoni. So, I'm just excited about this whole group.
It's a great answer. Thanks, Coach.
You bet.
Phil, when you think about the changes this offseason, I mean, losing a guy like Hassan Reddick, who was such a consistent pass rusher, how much different is what you want to do, I guess, schematically without him and filling in with a bunch of different guys?
Well, you know, we still have a lot of people that can rush off the edge. Even, you know, like Corey Littleton came in. He's a good edge rusher. We still have Frankie. We have other guys that Luvu, Shaq is good off the edge. Jeremy Chin is good off the edge. So we're just going to have to be a little bit more creative on how we rush the one side. Obviously, Burns. But now Marquise, we brought Marquise back to rush off the edge. So we still have a lot of capable people of getting pressure. So I love Hassan. I'm proud of him. You know, we had him in college and his development, and I'm glad for him. But we have a lot of good players here that we can still get pressure off the edge with. We just got to be creative on how we do it.
All right, we'll go to our next group here. Media, if you could just speak up. It seems like a lot of the audio is coming in a little soft on your end, so just please speak up when you're asking your question. With that, we'll go to Joe Person and David Newton.
Hey, Phil, can you hear me?
Yeah, I sure can.
All right, loud and clear. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
You did not mention Etor in that group of edge rushers. You view him more as like a run-stopping end and really not a guy that's ever going to be kind of like a 10 to 12 sack guy?
No, I'm not going to say that he couldn't be a 10 to 12 sack guy. Etor is going to play over the tight end, and you know, he'll present a lot of problems on first and second down. And then obviously he's really a good pass rusher on third down inside. So he gives us that, you know, that flexibility to use him in a lot of different ways. But yeah, Etor will be a really an effective edge guy for us. But I think his real pressure is going to come inside on third down. So, you know, I'm excited about all the different ways we can use Etor.
Is he someone that needs to, you know, entering year 3 now, that you need to try to get on the field more?
Yeah, there's no question. And one of his biggest problems of not getting on the field in the last 2 years has been his health. So that's my biggest concern with him. If he stays healthy and can practice every day and play every week, then I think his future is really bright here.
David, over to you.
Hey, Phil, how you doing? Good to see you.
Good to see you.
I wanted to ask, how do you feel about what you've done in free agency up the middle of your defense?
Well, good. I mean, Ioannidis is really going to help us. You know, we're going to, you know, one of the things we're going to try to do on defense this year, and I think we're going to have more players that we can do it with, is not, you know, because we got to stay healthy at the end of the year, which we haven't the last 2 years. So if we can limit some guys' reps and play more people and keep us healthy through 17 games, I think it's really going to help, especially, you know, in the playoff run in December. So, you know, you're going to see a lot of different guys play, and I'm excited about that.
And how does it impact what's going on with Damian Wilson with his legal situation, getting started with him and off-season workouts?
I just can't really talk about Damian right now because I don't know what his situation is. So we're just going to have to wait and see on that.
All right, looks like we got two more here. We might have a little bit more time if there's a couple additional, but Ellis and Jonathan, let's go to you guys and see where we're at.
Sure. Coach, wondering, did you have a relationship with Steve Wilkes at all before this?
Yeah, I've known Steve a long time. He's worked with some people that I've worked with, and I've admired his work over the last 25 years. So he's always been really successful where he's been and how he handles himself, and so Al Holcomb and him are close, and so when the DB job came open, Al and I already talked about Steve, and to me it was a no-brainer. So I'm excited about him being here.
Is this one of the most experienced coaching staffs you've had on the defensive side of the ball? I mean, for someone with his level of experience and expertise, he just must be adding some pretty rare knowledge to the defensive back room and really the defense as a whole. Yeah,
he does. And now Coach Pasqualoni does too now.
Sure.
He's been a coordinator on both sides of the football, been a head coach. He really is exceptional sitting in the meeting room. So, I always like, and I think all of us do, new ideas. You got to stay ahead of these offensive coordinators if you're going to be successful at any level anymore. And so the new ideas and what I really like about both of them is fundamentally they're really sound football coaches, and they're demanding. So I think our players will get better in those two areas every day. So I'm excited to see the progress over the next 6 months.
Thank you.
Yep.
Phil, you mentioned hoping to add another safety. How would you see, given that you all have added Xavier Woods and brought back Justin Burris and Sean Chandler, how would you see another safety adding to you all or fitting in with what you want?
Well, I think, as you know, this league, you better be too deep, really strong, because, like at our last game of the year last year, our top three safeties didn't play in the game. And that's just this league. I mean, it happens to everybody. So, we really need a player at each level, really, in this draft if we can get one. Just to continue to add depth. I think that the lower third of your roster, the better you get there, the better you're going to play for 17 games. Not only because you better depth on defense, but also special teams. So we're just continually trying to upgrade the roster, and Scott and his group, Fitter, does a great job with that. So we'll continue to do that.
All right, guys, we got to get Coach out of here, so we'll go to Steve Reed and Joe Person to finish. Let's be fast, guys. Thank you.
Hey, Coach, make sure you hear me. You hear me okay?
I can hear you fine, yes.
Yeah. Okay, so the cornerback position, you lost Gilmore, but you got Dante to resign. What do you got JC coming back? Tell me about the cornerback position. Who do you anticipate starting? Who's your nickel? And what do you think of that position in general?
Well, I think we have a lot of flexibility right now. I'll give you an example. Dante coming out of college, everybody thought he was a nickel. But, his numbers are pretty good at corner. His interception rate, pass breakup. And then we have Miles coming back that has played pretty well at nickel. J.C. Horn, the first two games last year, played our nickel. So we have a lot of flexibility in depth where we can match up. And if we do have somebody down, we have somebody that fills in that's really capable. So, and I think when you're a good football team, you have people that you can plug in and you don't lose much. And I'm excited about that group.
Hey, Phil, just wanted to get you to clarify on Wilson. When you said you didn't know what his situation is there a chance he won't be with you guys?
I don't know any of that really. Our front office is going to have to handle that, and I'm really blind to all of it, and that's an honest answer.
Thank you.
You bet.
Thank you, Coach. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Coach Snow.
Yep, thank you.